What's up, nerds? It's Noah here with Table Ready, and this is the Critical Review where I critically review every episode of Campaign 3 of Critical Role. I know I've been gone for a little bit, or at least you guys haven't seen me, but I've been doing things in the background that I'm really excited about, so I have an announcement at the end of this video, so stick around. Okay, let's make sure that you guys know everything that you need to going into the episode this week. To do that, we need to hop into the review. First, Ira didn't flat out attack the party. They actually had conversations before the fight broke out. It seems as though Ira actually wasn't that interested in killing them right off the bat. Or later. That we'll get to. The beginning of combat is a little awkward with Chet taking off his clothes and preparing to, well, wolf out. Or at least we were all trying to, but the rest of the party kept kind of hype blocking us. Then Ira animates the furniture. I told you it wasn't Belle. And the fight begins, with Chet finally being able to reveal that he is a werewolf. You were all right, but one of you was more right than the rest of you. So props to you, Joey, because it's true. Chet is a blood hunter. You had him at 3 levels with 1 in Rogue, but who could have guessed that he would have 0 levels in Rogue and just straight up lied to us? I lied. You get an 8 out of 10 for your guess there, Joey. On point. The party surprises Ira in the early rounds of combat, because he's not thinking they're really capable of doing anything to him. Imogen blinds him, Master Splinter destroys all his furniture, and Gurge gets released and jumps into the fight. But ultimately, Ira proves too much for the party, with Dorian and Orym both going down and only staying conscious because of nat 20s on death saves. Oh yeah, and Letters gets polymorphed into a turtle. So there's that. Instead of slaughtering the party, Ira decides to spare them after expressing that he's familiar with the Callaways, as in Fern Calloway. This further solidifies the idea that he is in fact from the Feywild. I was wrong again. He opens a dimension door and the party loses him. From the basement, the party can tell that the building is becoming unstable and they get out of dodge, sprinting away from the building as it explodes, throwing debris at everyone and leaving the party bloody. They collect themselves and eventually head over to Daddy Estros, and he knows that they need some loving. Estros sends them on a spa day and eventually gives them a lot of the hookups that they were looking for in the beginning. Feeling refreshed and clean, the party decides to take on the angle of meeting the Anger. Oshad, the Anger Brescio, is a dwarf mercenary for hire that has been protecting these twins for a while and has some loose connections. Well, I would say he's actually friends with Jarrett from season 1. Kind of interesting. He failed his mission as a bodyguard for the twins and it seems as though they have since passed, leaving him crippled for the moment. Orym and him go back and forth and realize that they probably were both attacked by the same individual. From there, the storylines start to open up even further. We have the Anger, we have Dorian and his brother, Ashton, which I guess you could say is in the Dorian and his brother campaign arc. You have Imogen, and then you also have this ball thing. The party's getting ready for this ball, I guess, to figure out what's going on politically in the area. But anyways, I guess that's for another episode, because at the end of this episode, Imogen finally gets to use her letter to get into this college and do some research about what's going on with her. She's obviously having something going on with these dreams that she believes are premonitions, and she starts to look into these books about these orders and these people and this research that was being done, and finds the name of her mother, which is wild, I guess, but we don't know anything about her mom. It seems like she's been out of the picture for a while, but the book goes blank. There's nothing after that, so I'm guessing whatever went wrong here might be the reason why mom's not in the picture. Which brings me to theories. My first theory is about Imogen's mother. Matt Mercer really likes to do these estranged parents reconnection, reconciliation things, so my guess is that Imogen's mother was taken from her, they will reconnect, and Matt will try to find some way to have them reconcile their relationship, and Imogen will have to deal with the fact that her mother was gone for as long as she was and doesn't know who she is. There'll be some great emotional moments. It's confirmed that Ira is the Nightmare and was hired by Armand Tresci, who is, I guess, an important part of the Quorum. We'll see how that goes, but Estros seems interested. I'm guessing that he is in some way indebted to Fern's family, or maybe it's connected to her other side or other half. If you watched Exandria Unlimited, you'll know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, ignore me. Another theory that I've stated before, Ashton's build is broken. Taliesin gets Chill Touch as just like an ability. I don't know where that comes from, but it's dope. With all this weird plane stuff going on, I'm surprised that Laudna hasn't already asked Delilah, or D, I guess I'm assuming it's Delilah, about what's going on here with Ira. There might be some connections there, and it could be some helpful information if she's willing to do a little dirty work for her. My last theory is about the party's name, the group name. And there's what I think will happen and what I want to happen. My guess is that the party will just come up with a name before the ball so that they can be introduced. The new Nobodies came up, and I don't really like that name, but I didn't really like the Mighty Nine to start off either. It's one of those things where whatever name they pick, I'm sure we'll say it enough, and then it'll just start to stick and be encoded into positive memories of watching the stream. Now, what I hope will happen is that they let Matt name the group. Hear me out. If the party doesn't come up with a name, then their reputation will start to buzz around the city, and it already has. It makes plenty of sense that townspeople would start to come up with a name for them. Now, because they're in such a politically driven campaign right now, the wrong people could get a hold of their name and call them something like the Undercity Bandits or something else disparaging, whereas maybe the citizenry might call them some kind of heroes or justice fighters or, seekers of those who are lost, something along those lines. I think it would be cool, and it would give Matt an opportunity to be a part of naming the party for the first time. For ratings, I only have 3 more. The first is that this ad was the best ad I have seen so far. By far my favorite, 10 out of 10. The second...
I'm going to slowly make my way... You're welcome.
So good. That was solid. I gotta give you a 9 out of 10. It gave me big laughs. And the last one's good too. I generally enjoyed this episode, and I think most people who were on the fence about this season are feeling better about it now. That being said, that's not what I'm rating. I am just rating the reveal of Travis being a werewolf and being able to play it. It's not so much that he is a werewolf that I'm rating, but the moment of him transforming for the first time was so good and gets a 9 out of 10 because of the joy that it brought Travis. If you look at his face that entire time, he is just giddy. The one thing that could have made it better is if they described that werewolf to a T. I just want to know how big he is in wolf form. That's it for today. That's all I have for you as far as reviews, theories, and ratings goes. So here's the big announcement. While I was gone, I was able to pull some strings and do something kind of cool for you all. Can't believe that this is actually happening, but I was able to interview Young Heller, who is an episodic director on The Legend of Vox Machina. And after watching the first 3 episodes, I had so many questions, and it was nice that I was actually able to ask them to him and then provide that interview to you guys, my audience, which is just incredible. So I hope that you guys like it. If you're interested in that, please hit subscribe. And I'm going to be releasing a bunch of videos here soon. So thanks, guys. I will see you in the next one. Enjoy Thursday and Friday. Peace.